LFG. Hello chat, hello Arjan. These 5 months have been great, looking forward to another 5 has. Shout out to LGBTQ who scored. Trans rights hassle. Best bot streamer Pogo. Months, 5 more. Month, already love you Arjan, hope your back gets better soon hassle. Please send help. So much snow. Can't drive to Wendy's. I need a baconator. But alas, the snow is too deep. Shovel broke, car is buried. Can't walk too far. Send help, please, have eaten in 2 hours. So much white and can't even snort it. Buy the dip. love you Ajan and chat hassle hassle hassle hassle hassle hassle hassle hassle. Hassle. Creepers, PPP Pinkus Stinkers Stinkers and Tinkers, love streamers. XD. Shut up, yours lol, white peepo happy, middle finger. Baby. Hey chat, I hope all of you are having a good day. Just know you are amazing and worth it. White people happy, white people happy.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. We are live once again, boys, girls, and NBs. I'm just gonna go right into the right into like personal news before I get into like the actual news. First of all, doubters get fucked. I think there was a prediction on whether I would start on time or not, and guess what? I fucking did.
Have a nice day.
Get fucked, doubters. Secondly, my voice is I got Instagram voice right now because I
late night back
spent
shots. Getting your back blown out.
I spent the majority of my morning on in bed because last night I ended stream, and when I ended stream, I tried getting out of my chair, and I realized like, oh fuck, I can't do it. Like I literally got up and had to sit back down. Basically, I just literally could not move. It was so fucking bad. You slept in your chair that night? No. Hold on. Hassan, you're only 30. That is not normal. No, I know what it is. I know what happened, okay? Here's what fucking happened. I already know what the problem is. Because with age, these sorts of issues, these sorts of complications occur more frequently. But also with age, I know my body better than I ever have. And I know what the fuck the problem is. What ended up happening is I did squats like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, I can't remember. And my legs were just fucking shot. Like they were super shot in the way that like I literally there was no strength in them, okay? Like this is pre-lactic acid almost. Like it was just, I had nothing going on down there. I had nothing in the tank. So yesterday when I did overhead presses, I didn't do leg stretches before I did overhead presses. I didn't do any dynamic stretches. I didn't do any static stretches for my legs. I only stretched my upper back and my shoulders like a fucking fool. But I was still doing overhead presses, like standing overhead military presses, and standing Arnold presses too. So I fucking tweaked my back because, and this is a lesson for all of you as well. Even if you're young, after the age of 25, you should just like always stretch everything. But when you have a pain somewhere in your body, if it's your back pain, if your lower back is hurting, it's most likely because your legs are fucked up in some way. You know, if it's your upper back hurting, it could be your chest. It could be, if your neck is hurting, it's probably your upper back. Like these are, because all these muscles are connected to one another, right? So what happened is my legs didn't have a lot of strength left in them. So while I was doing these exercises that I've done a million times over, my lower back overcompensated to carry my big ass fucking torso. And also, my lower back kicked in to stabilize. And I definitely overexerted it. And just your lower back alone is not good. That's why they say, you know, lift with your legs, right? So, orospu çocuğu boğazına destek tweet atsana. Hay amına sikeyim senin geri zekalı. Dün 45 dakika anlattım Boğaziçi'ni. Hala Boğaziçi diyor bu gerizekalı herifler ya. İnanamıyorum. Orospu çocuğu diyor. Senin ananı sikerim lan. Yarrağımın anteni. 1 saat 40 bin Amerikalıya 1 saat Boğaziçi'ni anlattım lan. Sen ne yaptın? Amcık ağızlı. Bir tane Boğaziçi fucking tweet attın diye şey mi oldun? Adam mı oldun? Gerizekalı. I talked about Boğaziçi for fucking 45 minutes to 40,000 Americans yesterday. And these motherfuckers still are like, dude, I can't believe you didn't tweet. What, you think I'm afraid or some shit? Anyway. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so that's what happened. Like literally I was just like, this is done. I'm done. I can't. I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to stream today. Like, because I thought I couldn't get out of bed. I was like, is this it? Is this my fucking future? Am I just bedridden going forward forever? You know? And it's a little dramatic when you think about it, but also back pain is so fucking shitty, dude. Like, low key, it's a little dramatic, but also not that dramatic when you think about it, because it completely just ruins your mobility. You can no longer move. It's fucking dog shit. Like absolute dog shit. Because your entire back is your everything is connected to your lower back. It's the fucking core. You know what I mean? So you can avoid, if it's leg pain, you can avoid it. You can move, you know, there's better ways to avoid it. If it's, you know, your neck pain, you can avoid it to some degree. But when it's your lower back, it's literally at your fucking core. It's directly in your core. So there's no way to avoid it. And I legitimately was like, all right, this is it. I'm not gonna be able to stream today. But then with the power of Zelda, like I'll just say this much. I was in so much pain that I wasn't even fucking playing Zelda. That's how much pain I was in. I was like, fuck this. I couldn't even move, right? So but then after that, I slapped on a fucking heating pad. Slapped on a goddamn heating pad like a 75-year-old man, and just laid in bed for a little bit, got it heated up a little bit, and then I did like 35 minutes of just like fucking hamstring stretches until I regained a little bit of mobility. So my legs are still incredibly shot, but you know, did some quad stretches, did some hammy stretches. Didn't really stretch out my glutes, but I should do that as well. And we're back, boys. I mean, I'm still in a lot of pain. I still have a fucking heating pad on my back. But it's at least like, it's at least manageable, okay? It just fucking sucks. I'll be all right. I mean, last night I was like, oh shit. Oh yeah, I know the White House briefing is on. I was gonna go to it right now, actually. We'll watch the White House briefing right now, but here, I'll watch the White House briefing and I'll go fucking I'll tweet out to the Normans that I'm live and we can get started. But all I was saying is like, great question, Katie. Stretch all the time, especially after the age of 25. Newly confirmed Secretary Mayorkas. Do not fucking think that you can get away with not stretching. After the age of 25, you gotta stretch. I was young once, okay? I'm still relatively young, but I'm 29 now, and honestly, you're no longer 18, okay? You know, you can get away with doing shit when you're 18. You can't get away with it when you're fucking post 25. Is complaining to strangers on the internet a workout plan? No, which is why that's not going to work for you, if that's your workout plan. All right, so let's just fucking let's just tell the Normans that they can come in. Let's welcome them into this into our home. There is a lot going on today. Actually, that's not true. There's like a decent amount going on. There's not like crazy news, but a decent amount of news. We're gonna talk about like the AOC stuff from last night a little bit, because I was way more focused on like shitting on the woke lords, the care lords in my community, rather than like the actual issue itself. So we're gonna talk about that. Here, I'm gonna fucking tweet out that I'm live.
Steps that the government had taken toward democracy. There has been a rollback of those, and obviously looking at sanctions is a big tool that would certainly be assessed, and I think that would be the one I would focus on at this point in time.
We haven't heard the president, we haven't seen a readout of the president talking to President Xi, and I was wondering if there's something scheduled or when that might be. It's been a couple weeks?
Less than 2 weeks, actually. It may seem longer to you. Our approach to China and our approach to our relationship in China with China, is strategic, obviously, and we are working to ensure that we are approaching that relationship from a position of strength, and that includes engagement with our allies and partners. A lot of those calls have happened over the last 10 days. Maybe that was a little Freudian there, the 10 weeks. 10 days, they will continue. And also engagements with Democrats and Republicans in Congress about the path forward. I don't have any call to predict for you at this point in time. Obviously, with Secretary of State Tony Blinken now confirmed, there are additional layers to engage with the Chinese, but we'll let you know when a call is happening, and certainly have a readout for all of you as well.
Sounds a lot like the strategy is not to talk to him at this time, because you're talking about speaking to allies and making other calls first. Have they requested a call?
I don't have anything more for you. I think I don't appreciate the putting words in my mouth. That wasn't what my effort was. What I was conveying is what our strategy is here from the United States, which is to work with our partners and allies and determine what the right time is. Of course, the relationship with China is going to be multi-layered. We'll deal with climate. We'll deal with the economy. We'll deal with security, and that is of course a priority to President Biden. He's spoken about it during the transition. He's spoken about it. Obviously, he's had engagements with his national security team about a range of issues, including China. We've been here less than 2 weeks, and when we have a call to read out, I'll make sure you know. Go ahead in the back.
Thanks, Jen. I want to ask you a few on the rescue plan talks, and I want to follow up on a question that Phil had asked you. You had acknowledged that the gap between the administration and Republicans is wide, but the talks last night was constructive. Mm-hmm. So after the discussion in the Oval Office last night, is the number from the White House still $1.9 trillion?
It is.
On the issue of the minimum wage, mm-hmm. You had said that the president believes that a nurse and a teacher, a couple who makes $120,000, should get a check. So that's clearly a quote-unquote red line. I don't know if you want to describe it as that, but something that the president wants.
Red line is an old term. We're not going to use it again.
Okay, that's right. But when you were asked about the minimum wage, you said you're not going to negotiate from here and you want to work through that. So it seems as if the president might be open to dropping the minimum wage from the bill. Is that a fair
I know there's
assessment?
a lot of appetite for what is going to be negotiated and out of the bill. I totally get it. This is a big topic of interest, but what I was just conveying as an example is that ensuring those checks are in the hands of Americans is a top priority for the president. I wasn't taking in and out things in the bill. That will be a negotiation that will happen through Democrats and Republicans in Congress. Obviously, the reconciliation process has just started. There are many opportunities for Republicans to offer amendments. There's a whole negotiation that's going to take place, and the president will continue to be engaged with members of both parties through that process.
And on the issue of Senator Manchin and his statement today, he talked about how he would like to see something targeted. He said, let me be clear, and those are the words I shared with President Biden, our focus must be targeted on the COVID-19 crisis and Americans who have been most impacted by the pandemic, his quote. Does the White House believe that $1.9 trillion is a targeted package?
Well, the size of the package was determined not for shock value, but to address the dual crises that we're facing. And that includes ensuring that millions of Americans can put food on the table. 1 in 7 American families are concerned about food security right now. It ensures that we have funding, that we can reopen schools so that kids can go back to school, mothers and fathers can not worry about their kids, and ensures that people can apply for unemployment insurance. The size of the package was determined, of course, in consultation with members on the Hill, but also based on the recommendations of economists, on health experts, and that's how we came up with that number.
And lastly, there's going to be a jobs report on Friday. Depending on how that jobs report looks, might that change how the White House views what needs to be in the package or not? Or you kind of believe that this is the best framework now, and that's what you're going with?
I mean, if there was a jobs report that there were 10 million jobs created, that would be great news. I don't suspect that will be what the outcome of the jobs numbers will be. So no, it will not change. As we saw from the CBO numbers, which projected, I should say, that there would be growth this year. That's obviously positive, but we're digging out of a massive hole. And the challenge right now is that it's going to take years to return to the pace of economic growth that the country needs to be at. So no, I wouldn't suspect it would change things. Go ahead in the back.
Thank you, Jen. A couple of follow-ups.
Sure.
First, to Tamara's question. Governor Hogan said that there has been two more cases of the South African variant in Montgomery County and is in Maryland, and people were coming back from abroad. I mean, is that?
Why aren't you fucking quarantining those people? Is the real question that people should ask. The government. Quarantine people who are coming from fucking South Africa unconditionally, regardless. Just like you would quarantine everyone coming from every other part of the country in general. We should be quarantining people for 14 fucking days, no matter what, no matter where they're coming from. I am so fucking annoyed with how stupid this shit is. What they're doing is literally the same shit that Donald Trump did when he turned around and said, what? Okay. They can hear me? Okay.
Question. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the president hasn't spoken yet with...
My mom's doing an online class and an online lecture, and apparently her students can hear me.
Surprising, less than 2
she
weeks
can't
into
wear
an administration,
headphones.
He hasn't called every foreign leader yet. He certainly would love to
So
spend
I gotta
more time
be more
talking to foreign
quiet
leaders.
for the time being.
His first love is foreign policy, but I expect he'll continue to have additional engagements in the weeks ahead. And obviously, we have a long and abiding relationship with Israel, important security relationship. I'm sure they'll discuss that and a range of issues when they do connect.
Question, Jen.
No, she's not even mad about me yelling. She's mad about me cursing. She said, you need to stop cursing.
Canada, the destination of this first trip. Can we expect the same thing from...
That was a very creative way of asking the first foreign trip question. I don't have anything to preview for you in terms of where the president will travel on his first foreign trip. I'm as eager as you all are. I love foreign travel. I will remind you that his first call was, of course, to the Prime Minister of Canada. So that is certainly affirmation of.
I know that person was asking that question to the administration. I'm just upset because it is exactly the same. I mean, exactly the same as what the Trump administration did in that respect.
Promoting integration of new Americans. Should visa applicants in the K-1, the student E-2 visa program, should they take this as a sign that they'll be granted travel waivers to return to the United States? I know you were asked about that last week.
Yeah, I was, and it is still under review. Obviously, as we talked about a little bit last week, or I don't remember if you were here that day, but it was a question someone else asked, and married couples, as you know, are able to travel. There was a review of students and of couples who were not married. That review hasn't concluded yet.
And then on jobs, given that Mayor, I guess now Secretary Buttigieg has been confirmed, when can we expect to see a detailed infrastructure plan given the potential for new job creation there?
Well, we're going to officially invite Secretary Buttigieg to come to this briefing room and talk to you all about it whenever he has that to discuss, or even before then. He has been obviously working on getting confirmed, but I know he's eager to get to work, and we'll see when he has more specifics to lay out.
The announcement today with respect to the vaccine, equity is a big part of that.
Yes.
You've been rolling out that previously. To what extent is international equity factoring in? Right now, the orders you have add up, if they all come through, which is admittedly a big if, to quite a bit more than the U.S. would need. What would you do with all that? And are you concerned that you might be boxing out less wealthy countries from getting earlier access to the vaccine?
Well, that's certainly not our objective. The president's objective is to have as many vaccines. As you said, there's a lot of factors that could happen here that could prevent this from happening exactly as we've planned it. Freezers can break, trucks can break, snowstorms, as we've
Why
seen
are
this
people
week.
saying IG
we're fully
story?
aware of that. May our problem be that we have too many vaccines to put in the arms of the American people. That is not the current problem we're tracking, so that's what our first focus is going to be at this point in time.
If that happens, will you distribute them to allies first on the needs basis?
I certainly hope that's our challenge and our problem, and I'm sure we will be happy to discuss that if that is our issue. But as you know, we've also rejoined the World Health Organization. We want to have a seat at the table. It's important that our global community is healthy, not just our community in the United States, but we're going to focus first on ensuring the American people are vaccinated. Go ahead.
Just another vaccine question. You mentioned you ramped up 16% distribution last week,
Yeah.
and 5%. You obviously have the 1 million doses going out to the pharmacies as well. Jeff was talking about how this is a ramp up of Moderna and Pfizer. What kind of visibility are you getting into what's coming? Like, did you know the 15% was, or 16% last week was coming? Did you know the 5?
Oğlum Türkler salak mısınız ya? Dün cover ettim Boğaziçi'ni. Ne yapmamı istiyorsun ya? 15 saat Boğaziçi'ni mi cover edeyim? Amına koyayım. Allah Allah. 45 dakika konuştum Boğaziçi'yle. Git VOD'a bak. Dünün VOD'una bak. Allah Allah. Geçem ama ha.
Where we know what's coming, so governors and local officials know what's coming to them, and they can assess where to distribute it in their states. The process is at the early stages, but our goal is certainly to have an understanding of when we'll be able to ramp up distribution to states.
So, like on something like today, how many days ago did you know, okay, on Tuesday we can announce that on February 11th we've got 1 million doses going out to pharmacies? What's the turnaround on that?
Well, that particular announcement has a couple of components, right? It's of course engagement with states and governors, and engaging with them is pivotal, but also with pharmacies and ensuring that they're able to do it. I mean, if you log on to CVS to do an appointment to get a flu shot, you want to know that the system is going to work. So there are a lot of steps in the process. I'm not sure how many days in advance we knew that it was full to go. Not many, but it takes a great deal of coordination to make sure governors are feel comfortable with the announcements being made, that we're fully coordinating with them, that they can explain to their public that, of course, pharmacies are just a part of what we're doing, right? It's not, 1 million doses is a lot. It is not going to vaccinate the entire country. We're going to ramp that up. So that leaves some onus on them to be able to communicate where where people can also get their vaccine. So that coordination is key as a part of it, several components in this one, but we don't usually sit on these announcements, so I don't think that long. Go ahead.
Jen, Senator Schumer just came out and said that he had a, quote, really good lunch with the president and Secretary Yellen. He also said that the president told Republicans last night that the $600 billion was way too small. Does that track with with your understanding of what he actually said to them last night?
Yes. I mean, the president has been clear that our risk is not having a package that's too big. It's having a package that's too small. And there have been public proposals, of course, by these senators and by others to split the package, to do a smaller package. And his view is that there are key components and funding that would be needed in order to ensure that millions of people have checks, in their hands, that we ensure people are getting those $1,400 checks, that we ensure that we are properly funding schools to reopen, that people can, we have the funding needed to get shots in the arms of the American people. So that is not a cheap endeavor, and one that, but those key components are all a priority to the president. Go ahead, Anita.
I just wanted to follow up on the meeting last night. In the readout, and all that we've heard is about
Where are the
relief
motherfucking
bill.
checks,
Did
dude?
any other issue come up? It was quite a lengthy meeting, a couple hours. I wondered if the president brought up anything, or if the senators brought up executive orders or other policy issues, or was it solely focused?
It was focused on the American Rescue Plan, and they had a robust discussion about it. I don't have any more of a readout for you than what we provided last night.
I know that, I think it was happening as we came out.
I know it's happening right now, so I don't actually know, but we will put out a readout of it afterwards.
And the goal was just to discuss the bill,
Yeah.
but nothing else.
Exactly. That was and obviously people can raise what they want to raise. I'm sure Democratic senators will share with all of you what they raise, but the focus of it was to discuss the American Rescue Plan, the path forward, and the imperative of moving it ahead. Go ahead in the back. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Is there any plan or date set for the president to address a joint session of Congress? And are you guys already working on his address? And is selling the American Rescue Package part of that, and in what way?
Not yet and not yet to the first two questions. And it really depends on the timing. Of course, there's urgency, as you've heard the president say and all of us say, in moving this package forward. I think, as he also said in his primetime address when he announced the American Rescue Plan, he also has plans to announce a Build Back Better agenda, and our plans would be to do that once we are at a point where it's that can be the next priority. So it really we don't have a date yet, and depends on when that date is and what the focus will be, and not working on it quite yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, so on the UAE aluminum tariff announcement, I know the president had insinuated that he wants to do a full review of former President Trump's tariffs before acting on any of those, and he, the president or the former president signed that out on December 31st. Should we take this announcement as an indication that that review is completed, or is this just a one-off instance specifically pertaining to UAE?
So, as you said, and for people who are not totally as familiar with this issue as you are, I know there's a lot going on in the news. Shortly before the inauguration of President Biden, the United States lifted a 10% existing tariff under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act on aluminum imports.
Okay, this shit's boring as fuck. Sorry, I don't care about aluminum imports, okay? All right, we're done with this. There's too much shit to cover. Okay, so, sorry, guys. Myanmar, I talked about it yesterday. Again, please stop spamming foreign please stop spamming about foreign policy and foreign news from different countries around the world, especially if I've covered it. Do your due diligence if you want to watch that. I talked about it yesterday. Go watch the VOD around this time yesterday if you want to see that. Okay, it's all good. You probably didn't see it because I did like a jam-packed 3 hours of fucking nonstop news back to back to back, and then I moved on to Zelda. So it's probably why you didn't see it. Okay, so she's done. Perfect. It was getting super sleeper. So, and same with Boğaziçi. Boğaziçi, I covered it yesterday. I covered for like 45 minutes, so you can go check the VOD out. Türkler, Boğaziçi ile ilgili dün konuştum. 45 dakika falan coverage yaptım burada. 40 bin tane Amerikalı izledi. İstiyorsanız dünün VOD'una bakarsanız orada bulabilirsiniz Boğaziçi coverage'ımı, tamam mı? Bu protestolar, polislerin gidip adamları yakalamaları falan filan hepsinden bahsettim. Lütfen orada gidip izleyin. Ondan sonra da siktir olun gidin eğer yani devamlı Boğaziçi diye gelip burada bağırıyorsanız. Okey? 50 bin tane şey oluyor amına koyayım. Hala dün izlemediniz. Ondan sonra gelmiş bana hala cover etmedin diyorsunuz. Okay. Don't know if you talked about Schumer stating he was going to release a plan to legalize weed. Do you think the Dems will actually get it done? Oh, Daily Dose of Hasanabi already has my coverage. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Turkey's Erdogan denounced LGBT youth as police protests arrest students. There you go. Nice little 20-minute slot for you, okay? To all the Turks. Dude, my fucking my clip channels, dude, they pop the fuck off, dude. They pop off so hard. Did you talk about the Amazon lawsuit stealing tips from gig workers? I did not see that. Okay, so Trump lawyers deny he incited the Capitol mob to stop Biden will call impeachment trial unconstitutional. So today we're unfortunately going to go back to the hog rebellion a little bit. Okay, we're going to have a conversation about the hog rebellion. Hey, what's up, Daily Dose of Hasanabi? Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. So We're going to talk about the Hog Rebellion. And the reason why we're going to talk about the Hog Rebellion is because AOC did a live stream last night, okay, where she recounted her experience of what happened. Now, part of it was very long, and I even made fun of how much of a filler episode it was, especially the build up to the events that took place. It definitely took many different random sidetracks, and as a horrible storyteller, I understand when people end up telling and recounting experiences with like virtually every single piece and every single detail. Okay, I myself am a huge staller and am bad at telling stories. So it was like the definition of a leftist meme in regards to how she told it. However, aside from like the jokes, it was good that she told that story. Now, why was it good? Why was it important that she recounted her experience? Because a lot of people are already, they're moving on. They're like, nothing happened on Bossing Say. There's no war in Bossing Say. Nothing happened on the 6th of January. Shut up, move on. And it's not just Republicans who are saying that. It's not just Republicans who have said, you know, shut the fuck up about the 6th of January. It wasn't a coup. It wasn't a coup. It was an insurrection. That's the proper term for it if you want to get into the semantics argument. But it was mind-boggling to me. It was mind-boggling to me that like there are leftists out there who are also shitting on this. Like, and you know, there's the understandable leftists out there that are shitting on this, like the ones that I expect to shit on it. You know, Jimmy Dore being one of them. Okay. Like, and then there's like the fucking hyper edgy care lords who will then turn around and say stuff like, why do you care about the surveillance state's media darling when there are when there are workers out there committing suicide as a consequence of alienation? It's like, did I ever shit on those guys? Like, I did not. I didn't know that like AOC was shitting on those guys, right? And but the surprising one was fucking Glenn Greenwald. Okay, I'll just come out and say it. I've defended Glenn Greenwald numerous times on this broadcast, and plenty of people shit on me for it. But it is mind-boggling that a person who himself is literally the target of not only just like harassment online and very credible death threats, but also a government hunting his ass like nonstop, a actual fascist government who he is duked it out with, turning around and just being like so fucking shitty, like saying that she's exaggerating, saying that she actually didn't care, saying that it's not a big deal. Going so far as to even mention that she didn't get abused physically. And if you have that video of him and Jimmy Dore talking, and I know I have a strict no door rule on this broadcast, but I really have to show this fucking video. Like the way he's talking about it is so ridiculous. Come on, dude. And like getting upset that, you know, AOC said no to fucking Ted Cruz, like to dealing with Ted Cruz, as though Ted Cruz is like being serious in any of his like bipartisan efforts. Like, come on. No, I don't want the entire thing, man. Why would you send me the entire 22-minute video? Are you out of your mind? Fact checks on the right side are so funny. No, Joe Biden did not lower the age of consent to 8. Joe Biden did not sign blank executive orders on his first day. No, Biden didn't say you can't legislate by executive order unless you're a dictator. No, the World Health Organization did not say you don't need to wear a mask. Did Joe Biden set modern record for executive orders in his first week? That could actually be true.
Made it through.
Now, I'm willing to be open-minded again because I think Glenn Greenwald does and has done a lot of great journalism. And I'm willing to be open-minded here and say, again, it's charity that like no one fucking ever gives me. But I'm willing to extend that charity to at least Glenn Greenwald here and say he didn't know. And maybe after like hearing the gruesome details and like how other Congress persons were like legitimately fucking afraid for their life, understandably so. Maybe he will say, okay, I might have gone a little balls to the wall there, okay? Because this is an earlier video before the AOC live stream came out.
Completely unscathed, not even tiny little bruise on her body. Every other member of Congress in the Democratic caucus, including Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and others, are equally demonized. And they're fucking over it. They got over it. If you want to be a...
Well, they didn't. They literally said, like, they're not talking about it. I mean, Ilhan Omar herself personally tweeted about this, actually. That's the thing, like, that's why it blows my mind. Like, this dude is... Like, if he was a full-blown grifter, he'd be shitting on Ilhan Omar. You know what I mean? Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are easy fucking targets for every grifter to shit on. That's why you don't hear Tim Pool ever defending Ilhan Omar. You know what I mean? Glenn Greenwald, and the reason why I still fucking respect him no matter what, is because, like, while he says so many psychotic boomer adjacent things that are borderline reactionary, if not completely reactionary, he is still a staunch advocate for BDS. And, like, on the one hand, it blows my mind because he's, like, acting as though Ted Cruz can be honest in a situation and not just, like, trying to ride a wave. But also, simultaneously, he's the same guy who's, like, you know, constantly talking about fucking Palestinian rights and shit like that. So, it really... He's not defending Ilhan. He's using her to attack AOC. No, in this circumstance, he is. And guess what? He got fucking owned for doing that because Ilhan Omar came out and said this. Wait, no, where's the actual Ilhan Omar account? Does anyone have that tweet real quick? Ready? I'm looking at the wrong Ilhan Omar account. Yeah. Ilhan Omar didn't directly tweet at Glenn Greenwald, but said, y'all stop invalidating AOC's experience because you aren't hearing about the experience of other members. Everyone deals with trauma differently. Her stories are validating for so many of us with similar experiences, and she's showing people that vulnerability is a strength. Like, that's nuts that you would just... It's nuts, man. It's fucking nuts. Like, guys, it's not normal. I'm sorry. It's literally not normal to just, like, fucking storm the halls of Congress. And every leftist that's made fun of it, and I've made fun of it in different ways as well. Like, don't get me wrong, because it is funny. Like, it is a hog rebellion, a hog insurrection. So there's a lot of humor in this dark moment in American history. Okay, there's a lot of humor there, but it's fucking nuts that you are like you're invalidating people and saying like, dude, shut up. Like nothing happened to you, so it doesn't matter. Like that's such a silly fucking argument. And ultimately you are nothing but a what the fuck? Dude, come on, dude. Dude, you gotta watch where your I's and O's are, brother. You're about to get fucking clapped up, dude. His argument is that they weren't harmed, but it's not like they were caught and just left alone. If they had gotten to AOC, they absolutely would have hurt her. Invalidating fear because you managed to escape is idiotic. Yeah, like, it's so fucking crazy. It's so nuts. Guys, when this was happening, the first people I was worried about, like legitimately worried about, was like AOC and fucking Ilhan Omar. The most legitimate, like the people that legitimately should be worried are the people that on the fucking, the people that are the face of like Republican attack ads. And Nancy Pelosi as well, certainly. But, you know, I'm sure she would be all right regardless. So it's fucking nuts that we're acting like a bunch of people who routinely post about how murder porn, about how they're going to fucking, you know, murder bang every congressperson and like and even have this like weird psychosexual relationship with congresspersons that they fucking despise and hate, storming the halls of Congress is actually just normal, and you should just get over it. Like, you should just build a bridge and get the fuck over it. That's crazy to me. That is a crazy fucking take. You know what I mean? There's like, it's wild. Will you talk about Michael Tracy? Just curious. No, because he's irrelevant. and I refuse to talk about Tracy, and I refuse to talk about Jimmy Dore. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's wild that they're saying this shit. Like, it's wild that he's saying this shit. Like, I know why Michael Tracy says what he says. Michael Tracy also fucking came out and, like, by the way, fuck Maxine Waters, especially with the new David Dayen coverage on like how Maxine Waters played a really fundamental role in taking away Katie Porter's committee position. But like, Michael Tracy fucking is famous for crying about Maxine Waters brutally assaulting him. Okay, like that guy is gonna turn around and be like, it's so crazy that AOC is just like griefing. Come on, dude. Like, really? You're the guy? You're the guy who's fucking saying this shit? Like, but did you die though? Is so dumb. Here's why, and also here's the other idiotic counter to that. And this is like, if I were a debate lord, here's what I would say. Oh, so a rape attempt and a kidnapping attempt is not as big as a deal if the fucking plot is foiled. Got it. Thank you. You should not be traumatized if someone tried to rape you, but you got away. Okay, thank you. Now that is the counter to that. If I was a debate lord, that's the way that I would fucking counter this idiotic take. Oh, you're traumatized even though you didn't get physically assaulted? Okay. What are you supposed to do? It's only okay when you get fucking physically assaulted? So for Glenn, it's like, is the argument that, Bolsonaro hasn't murdered you yet, Glenn, so you should stop complaining about this fascist government, like, trying to harm your fucking family. Like, that's ridiculous. No one, and I mean no one, would ever make that argument. And if anyone fucking made that argument, I would defend that. Like, I would defend you. That is an insane fucking thing to say. Okay? So it sucks, but what are you going to do? I thought I agreed with Glenn at first, but when you think about it, if they came face to face with AOC, they would absolutely beat the fuck out of her. Yes, dude. The fuck do you think was going to happen? Like, what did you think? What do you think those guys were there for? Oh, here's the rest of it. Oh, God, I hate this. The Idris Ahmad guy is like, I think these are some of the worst people, too. Like,
are doing.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't this guy like the fucking crazy, like, we need to nuke Syria guy or something? Like, yeah, these motherfuckers, and Essential Committee's right. They literally killed a cop, dude. These people killed one of their own. Okay? Why in the fuck do you think they would be delivering a tickle party to AOC's doorstep? Like, they fucking bludgeoned a police officer to death with a fucking fire extinguisher. Okay? Motherfucker died. And you're over here acting like, AOC was just having a cakewalk and she's just like totally exaggerating. Like, what do you I don't know what to say to this. It's so insane. It's such a fucking insane thing to say. You can make jokes about other stuff. You can even make jokes about this. But like turning around and being like, your experience is just silly because you fucking survived. I don't know. Like, these motherfuckers love cops and they killed one. They definitely don't love AOC.
This week has been like the most amazing week of having the left and the right unite against Wall Street. Almost everybody across the spectrum supports what those Redditors are doing and is thrilled to see these hedge fund leeches suffering. And it has it's created a major opportunity to regulate, to legislate, to reform. And
Yeah. Yeah, Glenn. No. Glenn Greenwald does not fucking legitimately believe that Ted Cruz has a genuine interest in regulating Wall Street. Please stop. Dude, there's no way. These people have not shown you anything. Why the fuck are so many people on the goddamn left literally saying AOC's a fake and a fucking phony because, she's not doing force to vote or something. But then Ted Cruz is the guy who genuinely wants to regulate Wall Street. What are you guys doing? Yo, I swear. Okay, listen. If you are this person, if you think that there's this fucking red-brown alliance, or if you think that Ted Cruz is actually legitimate in his anti-corporatist stance when his wife fucking works at Goldman Sachs, I don't know what to tell you. You are beyond saving, okay? You are beyond fucking saving, dude. If you legitimately think that remember when Ted Cruz was dunking